top of the league and looking down on the Rangers, that's the only... Right, what about that last night? Wow, where did that come from? Well, we knew where it came from because we've been due to give teams a gubbing in this league. Anyway, Celtic beat Hibernian 4-0 with a brilliant display. We look at the Celtic FC news this morning. Greg Taylor took to Instagram last night and we'll look at his comment. We'll look at the news coming from down under. We'll look at Socceroos.com to see how they are feeling about their lad Aaron Moy. Talk about Lee Johnson and what he says about Celtic. Chris Sutton took to Twitter to talk about Aaron Moy also. And looking at yesterday's video, we'll look at the comments section and see what people are saying about the deal. The Celtic Juranovic deal to Chelsea that just came out from the Mail, and I think it was the Mail just like making up stuff, but a few press media people asked Ange Postecoglou about the Chelsea links, and we'll see what he says with that. And in other Celtic FC news, we're top of the league looking down on the Rangers. So Greg Taylor, he took to Instagram after the game last night and he said, ready for Monday at Celtic FC. Picture of him cuddling Dyson Maida, and what a game Dyson had. We'll have a quick look at the game last night. But talking about Aaron Moy, the songbook last night was on form as always with away games, and when we get big crowds at away games, the songbook is just classic. Anyway, speaking to Celtic TV post-match, the midfielder Aaron Moy said he was delighted to get off the mark with Celtic. It's an amazing feeling to get his first goals for the club. I've had a few chances in other games, but feels it was great to see one hit the net. Never mind one hit the net, it was a screamer. It was an absolute screamer. It was a cracker of a goal. You don't score goals unless you get into positions, he said, so I tried to take that on board, and he got into a fantastic position, and when you watch him actually sort of making that space in the box, just on the chance that if the ball drops, you're going to hit it and it's going right in the back of that net. He's been penalty taker in the past for different clubs, although not for a while, so it was good to get that penalty and get it in the back of the net, and it was a good penalty as well. Talking about Hibs, Lee Johnson went on to say about the Celtic team, he says Celtic are a top team. He's managed against Premier League teams, and Celtic are maybe one of the best sides, bar Manchester City, that he's came across. Celtic are obviously got a challenge to try and bridge the gap at the Champions League level, but in terms of Scotland, they are above anything else in the Scottish Premiership in his opinion, and of course we are. That's why we're 9 points clear. Wow, well, where do we go from here? Chris Sutton took to Twitter last night also and said that Aaron Moy with a couple of goals tonight and his all-round performance was really excellent. Good competition for places in the centre midfield area. Maida is a real handful. He is that, and he should have scored a good couple of goals. The one he did score was a cracker, and then Chris Sutton goes on to say a performance of real authority tonight at a tricky venue. It was just putting our foot down and saying, right, this is, and I said yesterday in the video, Celtic always do this after the winter break. They always come back stronger, and the fact that we've got a window coming up where Ange Postecoglou thinks that we will come out stronger, and referring to the transfer window, he was asked last night about the speculation linking Chelsea with Joseph Juranovic. The English Giants scum. Anyway, are believed to be monitoring the Celtic right back, possibly due to try and make an offer of stupid little amount of money. But he was asked about it last night after it was reported in the Daily Mail yesterday. But Ange Postecoglou vows that Celtic will come out stronger as he responded to speculation with the Chelsea Joseph Juranovic link. He said that basically he's never heard nothing yet, which is true because the story came out yesterday morning as we spoke about in yesterday's video. Unless the manager actually gets that phone call from Nicholson to say that there's been an inquiry, it's all speculation, and the fact that it was just paper speculation. You know, we did buy Juranovic for 2.5 million from Legia Warsaw 18 months ago, but these stories aren't going away. But straight from the gaffer's mouth, he says, I can say that I have heard nothing. So we'll put it to bed on that. So let's look at some of the comments from yesterday's video talking about Juranovic to the Chelsea deal. So the first comment that we've got is, we would never sell our club for... he says, if it is true, JJ is worth no less than 20 million, probably 25 to 30 million. Graham Martin says, surely if there was a clause in JJ's contract, he would have gone in the summer when speculation about him first. Well, this is very true. There's a lot of people speculating yesterday that there might be this clause in his contract that lets him go for between 6 and 8 million if an offer comes in. If that was the case, he would have been away last summer for that amount, because clubs would have just came in and took him then. His age and lack of Champions League level probably the reason why the value is going to be lower than what we want. After his displays at the World Cup, I would suggest, Stuart Dixon, that it's maybe going to be higher than what we actually think. What Chelsea think. I think Celtic will get in the region of 15 million plus, purely for the fact that there'll be a bit of a bidding war. Paul Baird with his usual hail hail comment. Duke 1969 says, do a swap deal. Jeez, Darryl says 8 million. I would rather keep him and sell him for 8 million to the English. And then Kent Grady says any English Premier League club that pays 8 million for any player doesn't want the player. He's worth 15 million at a bare minimum at English prices. If the board accepts any figure below that threshold, they should be submitted for psychiatric evaluation. 8 million, laughing at you. Went on to say 8 million for a replacement for James Law. James' value is 20 million, especially in the Premier League. And that takes us to the end of the comments section, and what a game it was last night. Do you know, Dyson Maida had umpteen chances before he scores an absolute screamer from the edge of the box. Aaron Moy steps up and scores an absolute screamer from inside the box. What about Kyogo? The pass from Hatate to Kyogo last night was absolutely sublime. He takes the ball and he passes it right through the centre of the pitch. Kyogo takes it on the outside of his knee to stop the ball down, which was that itself is just fantastic. People are saying that Kyogo should be dropped. I mean, even I was saying the fact that Kyogo wasn't at his best, but the manager must have been seeing things in training, and he is our #1 goal scorer. You know, when you look at the big Greek, when he comes on, he never had much chances. He does look a bit grumpy with himself after the game, a bit disjointed. You know, is his days numbered at Celtic? We will find out. The manager says we will come out the transfer window stronger. And on that note, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world. -9 is cold.